Hi, thank you so much for joining me for Pride this week. My name is Miss Boradori, or Miss B, and I'm one of the reading support title teachers at Montlake Terrace Elementary. Today, I am really excited to share the story Pride, the story of Harvey Milk and the rainbow flag with you. This book is written by Rob Sanders and illustrated by Steven Salerno. It is published by Random House and it can be purchased at Elliott Bay Book Company or at Powell's.com. Powell's is a fabulous bookstore in Portland, Oregon. The reason I chose this book to read is that if you go by Montlake Terrace this week, or if you've been there in the last couple of weeks, you'll notice that there is a pride flag hanging from our school flagpole. So I thought it was really important to understand what that flag means, how it came to be, and a little bit of history about a man named Harvey Milk. So let's go ahead and read the story. And the author says, special thanks to Gilbert Baker for his generous help and support of this project and for showing millions of us our true colors. The story begins with a quote. You have to give them hope. Hope for a better world. Hope for a better tomorrow. That's a really important quote. I'm going to read it one more time. You have to give them hope. Hope for a better world. Hope for a better tomorrow. Harvey Milk was an ordinary man, but he had an extraordinary dream. The dream would change history. Harvey dreamed that everyone, even gay people, would have equality. He dreamed that he and his friends would be treated like everyone else. He dreamed that one day people would be able to live and love as they pleased. Along this bicycle, it says, just married. That word equality is a powerful one, and it's a really powerful one to be thinking about right now. So as I continue to read, look for connections to what Harvey Milk believes in. He's believing for equality, to have things equal for everyone, and what he actually does, what his actions are to try and achieve equality. With his New York accent, Harvey talked to everyone about his dream. His voice boomed, his body bounced with energy and excitement. Some people listened, a few agreed, most did not. So he's talking to people, and there's some signs that say things like gay pride and peace, past gay civil rights. Some have the symbols of two women together and two men, straights for gays, I love my gay son. Other signs say gay with the word crossed out, gays must go, and God says no. But despite that, let's see what Harvey does. But Harvey's big voice and his big dream wouldn't be stopped. He discovered that the best way to change laws was to help make laws. In 1977, Harvey Milk took a big step toward that dream when he became one of the first openly gay people to be elected to political office in the United States. Harvey and his friends planned marches to protest inequality and unfair laws. And just days before one of the marches, Harvey had an idea. So stop here. Do you see any actions that Harvey Milk is doing? Do you have any connections to things you're hearing about in the world right now? Oh, look at Harvey's face. What does that tell you? Looks like he's thinking. A symbol, he thought. We need a symbol that shows who we are and how we feel. Something to carry during the march, something to make people feel they're part of a community, something to give people hope, something extraordinary. And this page shows all kinds of symbols. Do you see any that you recognize? Do you see any that you don't and might want to learn about? Let's look at a couple symbols that you may not already know. Did anyone know what this flag represents? This is the United Nations. So that's an organization where countries across the world work together to solve issues that face humans. Any others you didn't know? Looking down here, this is a symbol for female, and this is a symbol for male. And up here, does anyone know about this? The dove usually represents peace, just like the peace sign over here. So let's find out about Harvey's idea. Harvey knew an artist who could help, Gilbert Baker. Harvey asked. Gilbert said, "We need a flag." Volunteers arrived to help Gilbert's design come to life. Together, they dipped fabric into large barrels filled with vivid, vibrant dyes. They cut and pieced and sewed until Harvey, Gilbert, and the other activists had a flag with 8 colorful stripes, a flag that Harvey hoped would give hope. On June 25th, 1978, when it was time for the march, a breeze stirred in San Francisco. The flag unfurled. So it opens up to the breeze. And even though this quote isn't on the flag, the illustrator has added the quote from Harvey: "Rights are won only by those who make their voices heard." It's an important quote. Rights are won only by those who make their voices heard. What are ways that you can make your voice heard? Let's see how Harvey made change. The wind blew, the flag fluttered, flapped, and flew. Oh, the flag fluttered, flapped, and flew. Listen to that alliteration. The beginning sounds go together. A rainbow as bright and unique as the men and women who walked behind it led the march. Harvey and the people asked for equality. They asked to be treated like everyone else. They asked to live and love as they pleased. They hoped the march would make a difference. Harvey was proud of the flag and proud of himself. He hoped others could be proud too. And look at all the beautiful different ways that people use the flag. They're not the same, They're unique, and each one is a beautiful way to use the flag. 5 months later, on the morning of November 27th, 1978, Harvey and the mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone, were assassinated. Their lives were taken by a man who did not think like Harvey, or feel like him, or love like him. When I asked earlier about how to make change, having those conversations and listening to each side is so important. Because when I read this, my heart breaks. The flag did not fly on that dark, sad night. Instead, thousands and thousands of people marched silently, carrying candles. The candlelight wove through the streets of San Francisco and up and down hills, around city buildings. A mile of glowing candlelight in honor of 2 lives lost. That could have been the end of Harvey's dream and the colorful flag, but it wasn't. Look at this page. Can you tell what the word hope is made up of? More rainbow flags were created, and that's what's making the word hope. Some of the colors changed. 8 stripes became 6 stripes, but the meaning of the flag did not change. It was a flag of equality. More and more people began to think of the flag as their flag, and they began to feel pride. They began to have hope. In 1994, Gilbert Baker designed another rainbow flag. This one was larger than all of the rest. Women and men side by side carried the flag, a proud, mile-long rainbow floating through New York City. The flag wove through the streets, up and down avenues and boulevards, and around city buildings. The people demanded equality. They demanded to be treated like everyone else. They demanded to live and love as they pleased. They were proud. They had hope. They would make a difference. Here's a quote. I asked for the movement to continue, for the movement to grow. More rainbow flags were made. Some were printed on bumper stickers and t-shirts. Others were hoisted onto lampposts on Halsted Street in Chicago. One was hung in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Soon, the rainbow flag was flying in other countries like Brazil, England, Israel, Russia, Singapore, and Turkey. The rainbow flag now unfurled on farms, in suburbs, and in cities. The flag flew proudly outside public buildings, hotels, shops, restaurants, churches, and homes. And you know, it also flies outside of Montlake Terrace Elementary. And once, on June 26, 2015, the White House was awash in the colors of a rainbow flag. This was almost 5 years ago. And I remember this day. It was a big day. This was shown on the news and talked about amongst friends. It was a powerful, powerful message. Because what does that flag represent? What does it mean? It means equality. Equality, pride, hope, love means all of those things. Harvey's dream became a flag for all of us. And the last illustration is a tape recorder where Harvey would jot down ideas. And the notepad next to it says, "You have to give them hope." Take a second and think, what does this book mean to you? Do you have connections? Do you have dreams? Now is a really good time to think about those and share those. Thank you again for joining me this week. Thank you for the thought that you put into this book. And hopefully, you can go away thinking about love and equality and action, and thinking of a man who took action to make things better for all people in the world. Thank you.